Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
YouTube.
Jace.
Yeah. Hello, everybody on YouTube when this VOD eventually goes up. Uh, so, uh, this is another game where it technically does not have a watch mode. It's like I found. Well, actually, this wasn't a discovery that I made. Torensu, the guy who interviewed Dantel from Survival Arts some months back, I was looking at his channel and there was like a 2-part video that was Tekken 2 AI tournament. I'm like, what? Like, how did you do that? And it turns out there was basically some Game Shark codes that'll be like, player 1 is computer. And
Ah.
it's basically that. So, and yeah, got another top 8 here. Y'all know how it goes. Gotta turn it up some. So this is the first match of top 8.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I have no idea how Kuma even got in top 8.
So, I will admit I don't know a lot about Tekken 2 specifically, but...
It's aesthetically one of the coolest ones in the series. And it's like... It's hard to describe how like combos feel in this game. It's like you can't really sidestep or anything, but it's like it feels like the mix-ups are way more intense in this game.
Right.
It was back when Kuma just had King's voice.
I forgot that there was actually an age where Heihachi had the non-white hair.
Yeah. He was voiced by, speaking of Okuyasu, he was voiced by him here.
Oh.
Like, if you listen closely, it's the voice actor doing his Zangief voice, more or less.
Oh.
Yeah. One of my favorite win poses.
That one definitely. I remember that returning in 3.
Yeah. Also, a lot of the themes for the sub-bosses are remixed Tekken 1 themes, and they're all very good. Even if this one is kind of a weird fit for Kuma.
Series has always had just amazing music.
Yeah. And it's funny because in the... Something I have to note about the Torenso tournament is that his results are much different than mine, which I find very interesting. I think both the characters that were like first and second place in his tournament got eliminated in mine, so...
Huh.
I don't remember, because, like... I don't remember if either of the kings are in this. I had to, like, rerun the whole tournament because I forgot Paul. And then he just ended up winning, losing 2-0 anyway, so...
That's... I'd say that's part of tradition, but then again, he did beat Ogre, so...
Yeah. I mean, he won the other AI tournament. And he was second place in Tekken 1. It's like,
actually, just recently I watched the, that Tekken animated thing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this is somewhat amusing, although that was based on Tekken 3,
yeah.
featuring Leroy Smith.
Leroy Smith and apparently a triangle that is floating above everybody's heads.
Yeah, that chaining style was very strange. I think they saw the very polygonal character models in Tekken 3, and they're like, well...
What if everybody had a floating polygon? Takuma is up to, like, by a round. I don't know what is happening.
Kuma rules, that's what's happening.
Well, yeah, but, like, tier-wise, it's like, basically, if you're Jack or a Jack-like in these games, you're terrible. But, apparently Kuma isn't listening to that. As he should.
I don't imagine that the AI has any factor against, like, competitive players, so...
That's kind of
something much different here.
That's kind of the most fascinating part about watch mode, is that tiers really don't matter.
Yeah.
See ya, Sash.
Ooh. Just stomps on him.
I love AI in fighting games that will just do, like, disrespect that human players would as well. But it's funny, like, Tekken 2's, quote-unquote watch mode is a lot more interesting to watch than, Tekken 1's, I'll tell you that. Tekken 1, they're just kind of, like, playing footsies the entire time. Like, they seem very nervous to approach each other. So it's probably going to take a while because the matches are best of 5. It's about a half hour. And so is Urban Reign, so it should round up to an hour. The sound is exclusive to Kuma, which is weird.
I'm pretty sure that sound effect is used in Earthworm Jim.
Probably. So
oh my god. I can't believe that move exists.
Yeah.
Just sits on his ass and then just starts swinging.
I think that's just a Jack move.
Yeah.
But it somehow makes way more sense on Kuma. So Anna, in both these tournaments, did very poorly.
We got Nina, and I don't know. It was just super weird seeing like Tekken 3 animated, but everyone had their 7 costumes.
Oh yeah,
really strange stuff.
I think like MK does stuff like that every now and then. Where it's like, oh, we're looking back on Mortal Kombat 1 story. It's like, but this is like how Raiden looked in X. Like, I'm not really.
Yeah.
Also, Nina's theme in this game is also extremely good.
That's like Calypso, I think they call it.
A little bit. But yeah, Nina and Anna's AI are extremely different, which is really weird. Like, Nina's much more aggressive.
Interesting.
As I can tell you right now that, I'm having flashbacks to trying to play this game on hard mode. I still miss Michelle. Even though Julian more or less just filled her spot at this point.
I mean, they're practically the same, aren't they? Although Michelle's costume in Tag 2 was pretty legit.
Yeah. I think Michelle just always had the better outfits, I think, the thing.
I don't know. Julian 4 had something.
I forgot she was even in 4, to be honest.
The only reason I remember is because she had the jean jacket look, and I'm super into it.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Otherwise, I wouldn't remember it because I never played that game.
Tekken 4 is strange.
It certainly looks it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll see footage of people, like, running around and, like, across entire levels, and it's just like, Jesus.
Yeah.
What is this weird, bizarre thing where they're, like... They have, like, 3, like, Power Stone-esque, like, large stages with obstacles, but it's Tekken. It's bizarre.
I'm kind of late asking, but audience, let me know if the audio needs remixing. I've had a good streak with audio lately, but
Michelle's got a convincing lead here.
Yeah. I love how like she keeps doing the lead up to the back throw, but she never does the throw. Okay, audio sounds good. Alright, 3-0 there.
Okay.
With that move, I'm suddenly not surprised that I have Michelle Chang for Fire Pro.
Oh yeah, they always had like a wrestling thing going on, especially when one of them became an actual wrestler.
Yeah, I always found them interesting because they were like kind of like wrestling in something else. Speaking of which, here's Alex.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, Julia's in her streamer costume in the anime, or the series. It's not an anime. But, yeah, the whole thing takes place in modern times, even though it's supposed to be in, like, the 90s.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
It's just, like, it's just such a weird thing, because they're just, like, the time spline is just whatever you want it to be.
And yeah, like, I recently realized the weird thing about Roger and Alex is that they have boxing gloves, but they're basically just wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
Because, according to Torensu, these two are basically just Tekken 1 King, but with a few new exclusive moves. Including the wind-up punch, which the AI does not react well to, it turns out. And one thing he did was, yeah, it's computers fighting.
This theme.
It fits, those two very well.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
Yeah. Shit, what was I saying? Right. So, with Terensu's tournament, he added Boss Kazuya, which is basically just like a different slot that gives him this costume. I sort of did the same, except I just hit start to get this costume and just called it there.
Oh, that's the reason why Anna's not in this tournament, because Alex ate her.
God. I still cannot believe how horrific that scene was. Like, that was weird.
I like to imagine that was canonical to the new series as well. Because that was, I guess, the lead up to that. Theoretically.
Yeah, I guess Lee is not in that thing as well, so maybe.
Yeah?
When Lee was a supervillain. I like how in canon, like, Lee was a villain for a while, and then he was just like, I kind of don't care about this anymore. Like, he was like...
Yeah, he was, like, a really, like, important character to the story, and then he just became a goofball.
Yeah, because he's like, look, Heihachi's like 75-something, you know, Kazooie is kind of an idiot. I have better things to do. Like, also, yeah, excuse the weird, like, polygon freakouts every now and then. Duck Station just occasionally does that, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. I've been watching Andrew play some very interesting-looking JRPG called Thread of Fate, I believe. But he uses Duck Station, and I'm just like, this thing, like, it runs smooth, but it also just, the graphics are just not correct.
The thing is, the graphics are way more upscaled.
Oh, yeah.
Which I guess the polygons occasionally freaking out are kind of just the catch to that.
Right. I God, Alex is loud.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's part dinosaur.
What he should be saying is, you can't escape.
They probably share a move.
Probably.
Yeah, like, just like the 10-hit combos for some reason feel like really scary in this game specifically. I don't know what it is.
He just jumped over the uppercut.
Yeah. Does this Alec do a powerbomb or suplex? I think he does a powerbomb.
Yeah. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
What a weird character.
Yeah.
Like, Kuma, you know, I don't know, the Kuma has like sort of endeared himself in this series, but Alex is just sort of there.
I think both him and Roger are like experiments of some sort. Which, I have to say, learning more about kangaroos, you do not need to do anything to them to make them scary fighting machines.
Yeah.
Like how many characters have King's throws. Yeah! Yeah, there's a lot of King and Jack likes in these games.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Steal.
Yeah, and Alex gave it a shot, but...
What came first, Tekken 2 or Clay Fighter 2?
I'm gonna guess probably Clay Fighter 2, but I'm gonna check anyway.
Yeah.
Also, hey, these other characters that aren't characters anymore.
I just think it's weird that they both have a kangaroo with boxing gloves in it.
Oh yeah, they both came out in 1995, so I think it was just a wild coincidence.
Weird.
This video of kangaroos fighting and the other had a headlock. The one that I saw that was going around was two kangaroos kind of pushing each other. Then the other, like, shoves the other in a fence, and he falls through it, and the other kangaroo just stares at him. He's like, what the fuck? I've never seen a kangaroo best somebody so much that they're just like, what? I was not expecting that. The Soul Calibur version, yeah, with the ring out effect. Also, nice evading that attack, Bruce.
And blockables don't do a lot of damage in this game, it looks like.
Yeah.
For how, like, risky they are.
Bro is flabbergasted. Yeah, that was the caption. The one clip of the guy punching a kangaroo, because yeah, he was like saving his dog. And like the kangaroo was so shocked that like that he did that he was just like, I'm just gonna let you go. But Bike, yeah, definitely, his AI made me remember that he is very Horong-esque.
Oh, yeah.
And, voiced by Kyrie, apparently, which is funny, because, you know, these games didn't really have much in the way of voice acting.
I always forget that Horong had, like, a predecessor. Or, that might be the opposite of what I meant.
Yeah, I get you. And Bike actually had a bit of a villainous role. But it was one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, I get that, though. Because the whole thing with Bike is that when he was sparring, he accidentally killed his dad. And he did not take that very well, as most people wouldn't.
Dude.
And yeah, 3-0. Again. It's just,
okay.
I was not expecting Bruce to do that badly.
Insane.
Yeah. God. Yeah, Bike is scary in this game.
Round 1. Fight.
Michelle,
No, but she loves the nature and the animals, and no.
It's a friendly spar.
Or maybe that was June.
They're both kind of like that.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised June got eliminated.
I mean, she got eliminated pretty quickly in the series, so...
Yeah, I'll never forgive them for that. And then,
It took them a while to actually get, like, a successor to June and 2. That was Tekken 5, I think? Yeah.
And yeah, with the old games, unique hit spars were a big thing.
Oh my god, his face.
Yeah. It's like when you look at Tekken 1 and Tekken 2 and remember those two games were a year apart, it's like amazing how much better this looks in a year.
Okay, yeah. Like, the 3 games they came out with on the same console generation were, well, then again, I mean, I imagine, it wasn't like Tekken 1 more of just like a direct port,
Yeah.
and then 2 was actually like an improvement.
Yeah, like the Tekken 1 port, I think they added some of the moves from 2 into some of the sub-bosses or something, but they just made them better than they were in arcade, more or less. Yeah, like, Tekken has this weird sort of tendency to just have younger characters overtaking the old characters.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, like, you want to tell a story where, you know, there are tragic deaths and whatnot, and characters get older, and so it's like, you don't want to just keep the same character around forever, unless you're martial law, in which case, I don't know, fuck, you're just gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like it makes sense, but then they, like, don't stick to it half the time.
I don't think we'll be seeing Kunimitsu the first anytime soon, sadly, so...
It's like, what they do with, you know, King, like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool thing. You get to keep the same character, but it's literally someone else.
Yeah, and it happens in wrestling all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this lady's gonna be old, throw her into the cryo chamber. Yeah, they did that with the Williams sisters, so...
That's another weird one, yeah. They just don't age.
Yeah. Like, the day that Tekken actually adds, like, an old lady that's visibly old as a playable character, I feel like this series is gonna end.
Yeah... No, given, they added characters like Eliza, I don't think they're gonna go that route.
Yeah. It's
They
like...
have a little too much,
Yeah. Because it's like, yeah, you have the Williams sisters, you have Kazumi, who's like... She's old, but, like, you know, she's like a 25-year-old ghost, so, you know, she doesn't look old.
You know, she is as old as she was when she died.
Yeah. And then, Kunimitsu is, like, she's still alive, she's just, you know, got a case of the sniffles, I guess, so her daughter's filling in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Kunimitsu the First took up a part-time job as an air conditioner repair person. That feels like a front. You know, like Breaking Bad, the guy with a vacuum repair shop. Like, something like that. Eliza was allowed to have a character episode, and characters like Anna and Layden, which she did? What did she do? Like, isn't her whole idea is that she just kind of crashes at Lily's mansion?
Yeah, I think that was it. I think it was just, like, the characters who were, in the base roster got one, and Eliza is, like, DLC, quote-unquote, but she was day one, so she's base roster plus extra.
I just find her storyline, it's like, there's not really much to it. She's just kind of a weird vampire lady that's like, hey, I'm gonna crash at your place.
Oh yeah, because she literally doesn't belong in this universe, so...
She does not.
They just have to, like, kind of go, oh, I guess she's popular because... so, I don't know.
Yeah, it's, you aren't my sister, Lily. What are you talking about? Yeah, the fact that she's narcoleptic is certainly interesting. Because I've never heard of a narcoleptic vampire before. The fact that they, you know, stay in coffins all the time, it's probably, you know...
Tekken's another one of those things where the more I look at it as like a story perspective, like, you know, you're looking at the series or whatever, you're like, no, the writing in this series isn't all that great.
It kind of falls off after, like, 4 or 5.
I don't know if it was all that good to begin with. It's mostly just that it's character-driven.
Yeah.
Like, you can have good characters and not have a good story, and that's fine, but...
Yeah. Yeah, Main Tenkun is obviously a better sleepy character.
Yeah.
Tekken tries to be serious and also be a shitpost. Yeah, that's... You know, I never really thought about it like that, but, you know, I mean, we just saw Alex and Kuma earlier, so...
Yeah, no, like, that was such a fucking cop-out where they mentioned Kuma in the animated thing, but didn't actually show him. That was fucking stupid.
That's frustrating.
That was the worst thing.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, I just fought a bear. It's just like, why didn't you show that? Like, that is Tekken.
Like, Kuma's, like, a pretty major face in the series at this point. You can't just make him a text cameo.
Like, Christ, Panda had a small bit part in Blood Vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's Panda. Like, come on.
Yeah, Zhao Yu's pet, which... God knows how she even got that, but, you know.
Is she supposed to be, like, a female analog for Heihachi, then?
I guess weirdly she kinda is. Because, yeah, there's that...
strange.
There was that Tekken 3 ending where she's like, I want my theme park, and then, like, Heihachi's like, it's my theme park now.
Oh god, yeah. They have a lot in common, don't they?
Why do these movies never feature Gon? Rights issues. They'd have to pay they'd have to pay the
It's
author.
ARPA, he knows.
Yeah.
He's bullshitting.
I will admit, for a bit, I didn't notice that was him because my preview screen is so small I can barely tell these names apart.
Oh.
Yeah, Tekken 4 kind of felt like it was trying to be Tekken 2 again, in a weird way, but it just wasn't working as well.
Yeah, they've had such trouble with their story. It's like, they did the whole, like, reboot thing in 3, and I think that was actually pretty interesting. It's just that then they were like, oh, wait, people like old characters because nobody likes anything new. That's why fucking... I don't know. I'll never get over the whole like Goku's VA never changed, despite the fact that the voice is one of the weirdest fits ever.
Well, I'm sure she's not complaining. She gets paid.
I'm not upset for her.
Oh,
It's just that was nice. Holy shit! It's just super fucking weird that people don't just go like, well, it's sometimes things have to change. It's like, no, it's got to be the same. Bring back Marshall. He's so much better than Forrest. It's the same fucking character.
Yeah, pretty much. So our finals are Michelle and Bike. So, oh yeah, I did this. I had to make it more final. But yeah, Tekken 4, it's like, the general aesthetic was cool, but when it kind of tried to do the same weird, like, dreamy, spiritual vibe that 2 did, it didn't really work as well.
Round 1. Fight.
Granted, we don't really see that in these stages. These are kind of normal stages, but...
That's why having Mortal Kombat games keep having all the MK1 characters in them. Yeah. It's like, I understand fan favorites, and like, sometimes you want to keep them, but there's just this weird sort of thing where people just don't want new stuff. Sometimes, like, it's just like...
I'm partly excited for the new Mortal Kombat animated movie, because as far as I can tell, the plot does not revolve around fucking Scorpion again. I am so sick of Scorpion's story, please stop telling it. We know. We know what it is. Yeah, like, the thing is with Tekken 2, it's like, there's a lot of, like, echoes going on, and the locations feel really big. I don't know, it feels really cool. God, the finals are 2 characters that aren't in the series anymore.
Well, that's the thing. I think they were supposed to actually be dead. Like, well, I think, wasn't it Ogre that killed them? I forget if that was actually a thing.
Well, Bike actually came back in 5, so I think he survived. And so did
Bruce.
Bruce.
That's the thing. Like, they didn't actually stick with almost any of it. I think Michelle and Jun are, like, the only ones.
Bike was in a coma. I see. Also, there was that whole misconception that Wong died, and it's like, nah, he's still kicking. Somehow. Whoa! She actually did it!
Holy shit.
And it looks cool as shit. Michelle was voiced by one lady that was in a lot of 90s Japanese games, and it's like, oh, she was the voice of Sophidia in Soul Blade. Everything makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because she makes really strange noises. Jesus.
No, they've always had some weird wrestling in them. It's interesting.
I like that it's just
been wrestling light.
I just love how you know, they're not straight wrestlers. Like, they got other stuff going on as well. Like, it's not like, you know, it's like you look at her, it's just like, yeah, she, you know, this character has Hulk Hogan moves, you know, it's just...
Yeah.
Yeah, Soul and Sophidia was doing, like, some Stevie Nicks shit whenever she got hit, so...
Round 4. Fight.
Yep. She's like, okay, I'm in the finals, I better get serious. Also, for, you know, PlayStation 1 fighter models, I still think these models, like, you know, you can tell they're from, you know, the mid-90s, but I still think they look pretty good. Like, they're blocky, but, you know. Granted, I grew up in rival schools, so...
I remember mentioning that there was a secret project that I was working on that I did want to make look like a game like this. I feel like there's not enough, like, retro, like, throwback games that reference this style. Although I did recently see, like, I think it was a visual novel kind of game, and it was very distinctly, like, PlayStation 1 graphics, and it was really cool looking. Yeah. And I want to see more stuff like that.
I remember...
Because, like...
Oh, sorry.
It's just really interesting, like, there's a lot of, like, kind of callbacks to it, like, you can kind of do it with the sound, although you probably don't want to make all your sound, like low bit rate, because that kind of sucks, but...
Yeah.
There is that, the blocky models, the flat surfaces for stages with an image background.
I remember seeing there was a game I still need to get. It was called Just Say No, and I've never played the PS1 Mega Man games, but it looks so much like it.
Oh yeah.
I remember the one of the graphic designers or whatever was kind of embarrassed in the trailer when like somebody's holding a coffee cup and it's like clipping through their hand.
Right.
I said like no, like that actually fits with the aesthetic very well, and they actually thanked me for making them feel better about it. So.
Oh, you're talking like Mega Man Legends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that's definitely like an aesthetic I'm talking about. I love that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think it's like the best look, but it is very like it is something I'm very nostalgic for, and I do wish that it just more people took advantage of that kind of style.
Oh god,
This
yes.
is coming down to the wire.
Yeah, still aren't giving up. Speaking of Mega Man Legends, another voice actor for Part 6 was confirmed. Kenzo is Sigma now. There's that. So we'll be seeing the rest in a week. And
Jesus.
yeah, he...
Okay.
I think I was like down, like, you know, it was like match point, and Baker was like, I'm just gonna go fucking nuts now.
He just kind of stood back and then attacked any time she stepped forward.
Yeah. So that was Tekken 2. This game's cool.
Yeah.
And now on to what is essentially a Tekken game, but kind of not.